What's going on, world? It's your boy Kuya P. This is Nerds Rule the World, here for another amazing comic creator interview. Y'all know my love, my first love, doing more films now, but I still love my comic books. And today I got a comic book bringing back a property of my youth. I'm an 80s baby, y'all, and Biker Mice from Mars is coming from Oni Press and Nacelle Verse. And the amazing Melissa Flores is the writer behind this new series, and I'm so excited to chat with her. You see her on the screen. I'm gonna shoot off some air horns right now, Melissa, because we're hyped to talk about this. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Biker Mice from Mars. I gotta, you know what? I'll be upfront. I remember it. I remember like toys. I remember cartoons, but I don't remember too much of the story.
It was crazy. You haven't read the miniseries yet, right? There was a 3-issue miniseries that came out.
The Nacelle number 0.
So there was issue 0 for the Nacelle-verse, which kind of kicked off the whole thing. And then I did miniseries for RoboForce, and then I did a 3-issue miniseries of Biker Mice.
Okay.
So which kind of it was like a prologue to this series now.
So because this is the new ongoing now.
Yeah, so this is a new ongoing. I am kicking things off. And the Biker Mice, if you don't remember, which is fair, because I don't know why my camera suddenly decided to get all fuzzy.
Good.
Let's just pretend I put a beauty filter on that just went way too blurry. The Biker Mice from Nacelle was they were in the 90s, and it was right around like 90210, right after the Ninja Turtles, and so it was actually kind of fascinating. It was actually created. I'm sorry, this is
probably gotta get close.
Let me fix it. Hold on.
No worries. It's all good. Technical difficulties. My people know what's up. We're in Zoom.
There we go.
Now.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So the Biker Mice was in the 90s, and it is very 90s, and it is actually very dark, but it's a story of this race of like anthropomorphic mice that live on Mars. And their planet was invaded by these fishy amphibious species called the Plutarchians. And the Plutarchians are basically very like very capitalistic, but very wasteful. Like they basically take over planets, deplete them of all their resources, turn them into barren rocks, then move on to another planet. And it was very much during like the climate change crisis, and like people were starting to become aware, like Captain Planet, becoming aware of like
Captain Planet time period.
Yeah. So the premise of the Biker Mice from Mars was that these were freedom fighters who like were biker mice who had their planet decimated by the Plutarchians, and were now refugees on Earth. And the Plutarchians are now on Earth trying to do the same thing to Earth that they did to Mars. So really it's a story about war veterans. And they literally gave up their entire, like, one of them lost their eyes in the war on on Mars. One of them lost their hand. One of them lost half their face. Like, it's so interesting to me because it's really on the surface very quippy, very funny. They're biker mice. It's very bombastic and weird and silly. But underneath it all, these are like 3 war veterans who are just trying to make sure they tried to save their planet, they failed, and now they're trying to save Earth from it happening again. And so what we're doing with the series and the miniseries was that the Biker Mice has a huge fan base still. A lot of people like love it, they know it, very interested in the canon. And so what we did was we're telling the story of how the freedom fighters were formed on Mars and the story of the war on Mars.
So it's a little bit of a prequel in a way to how.
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. So in the first 3, the miniseries, the first 3 issues, they actually see the freedom fighters being formed, and then in the series, we're like maybe a couple months out of that, where they're just like they think this war is going to be fast, they think this war is going to be over soon, and then they realize very quickly, like, no, it's not. And so they're going to get a little bit of a reality check in that war is hard and war is difficult, and you're going to see just how big their problems get as they're trying to navigate this along with their lives. Like, they have family that they lose on Mars, they have like loves, and they have like homes. And so it's a darker story, but we never lose that fun that comes with the original tone of the
Okay.
series, which was very like quippy, like Ian Ziering and like voiced one of the characters. I don't know if you remember, he was from like
Oh yeah.
90210. Like,
Yeah.
and
Oh
so
yeah.
you had a lot of 90210 actors. Leah Remini voices Carbine.
Oh wow. I gotta
So
dive
like
back and check those out
it was
now.
I had a blast when I was told that I was going to be writing this. I like went and watched everything. I so rewatchable, so freaking fun.
They still
Like
hold up.
they still hold up and they're all on YouTube. So
Oh, even better. I love it. I love that. I think, you know what? I probably, because that I'm from that time period. I'm an 80s baby,
yeah.
turtle time. Everything was going anthropomorphic. You saw Yojimbo, all these various animal type anthropomorphic characters. So yeah, now it's all ringing a bell now. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
But I
And
think I
it's
probably I know now because what you just told me, I'm sold. Like I think because of my lived experience now, I'm an older cat now,
yeah.
but this is still my time period. Like I appreciate it more. Like you're saying, these surface level, you see the bike, that gets your eye if you came up in the time period we came up. But
Yeah.
knowing that there's layers, you know what I'm saying? You might think that, but there's so much what I've lived through, and now I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that's what I love about the Nacelle verse in general. Like when they brought me on board, it was Brian Volkweis, who's the head of Nacelle, was basically he just bought a bunch of toy properties and was like, I'm going to make my own universe. Like I'm literally going to take all the toys that I had when I was a kid and throw them in my own sandbox. And it was my job to basically reimagine it, like the origins from a comic standpoint and how it all fit together. And and what I really loved about it is that and even now you see it, but like every one of these properties from RoboForce to Biker Mice, which is probably arguably the most well-known one, there's really deep emotion and there's really deep motivations. And despite the obviously bombastic over the top craziness, these are very like human emotions that you're seeing, I mean, this is a war story. And so I was watching a lot of war movies to try and understand like the mindset, the loss, uh but you also have the fun, they're biker mice on Mars and they have bikes and they have like big muscles and like, they're love interests. And so it's very soapy sometimes, which I love. Like I don't feel like we get enough romance sometimes in these kind of
Yes.
comics. So,
Yes.
and that's something that they wanted me to really lean hard into. So it's been a lot of fun.
I love it.
And of course you have the fun furry angle. And
Yeah.
so
Who doesn't love furries? Well,
very
there's people that don't
handsome
love furries,
dudes,
but
So
I love it. And I was going to ask you, and I appreciate you already bringing this up. Like once you climb on board an IP like this, and you have, I did some homework on you. You're Power Rangers through and through. You have a
yeah.
lot of background in regards to Power Rangers. But then when you get on board a property like this, what was your familiarization prior to, and or what kind of homework you did? So like you said, jumping online, watching all the cartoons and just reading everything up. And you grew up on Biker Mice as well.
I didn't. I remember watching it as a kid,
Okay.
but I
So
mean, I
then
was
you were
obsessed
like
with.
me, like I
I was,
remember it,
yeah.
but not all the
I
way in
was
there.
obsessed with 90210. That was my age, So I was like Jason
Yeah,
Priestley and Luke
yeah.
Perry and all of that, before I knew I was gay. So they, and so I knew of it and I thought it was fun, but I was just a little too old. And so, and it was the same story with Power Rangers or with Marvel. When I start any new property that I do that has a history, I always make sure to do my homework. And so, Power Rangers obviously easier because I worked for 10 years on the property before I started writing the books. But Biker Mice, yeah, I had to sit there and really dig in deep and like, spend hours just watching every single show and talking to Matt and Brian, who are the executives over at Excel. And uh, so it's one of those things where I really want to respect what came before me, because especially these kinds of IPs that you you have fans that like really love these characters. Like this is their childhood and you don't want to mess with their childhood
Definitely.
because it gives them something. It makes them feel safe. It reminds them of a time when they were younger, when things gave them true joy that was uncomplicated. And so the last thing I want to do is take a property like this and remove their joy. if that makes sense.
Oh,
So I really try
completely.
to treat it with respect. Like obviously there's things that worked in the 90s that don't work now.
Yeah.
But the tone always has to be the same. Like my buddy Kyle Higgins, who wrote the original Power Rangers when back in when Boom first took over the license, he said a thing and it's always stuck with me where he said, I was writing Power Rangers, not the way it was, but how the way it made me feel.
Mm,
And so I've kind of really taken that to heart when I do these kind of things. And I did the same thing with Biker Mice. So like I want the fun and the tone to be there to remind you that these are the guys you remember in the 90s. We're just going to add a little more depth to them. We're going to give them a little more nuance, but you're still going to see them, and hopefully it's still going to have that same feeling. And the miniseries seemed to do that, thank God. Like you had fans that absolutely loved it and they really enjoyed it, and they loved seeing that backstory that they were waiting for come to life. And so I'm hoping to do a little more of that with the ongoing.
I love that. And shout out to Kyle. I've had Kyle on quite a bit. Longtime friend of the
He's
show.
amazing. Yeah,
But we're, like you said, we're kind of like the current caretakers right now. These projects are bigger than us, and we just got to
exactly.
take care of them when they're in our hands. And so that's wonderful. So while becoming acquainted with Biker Mice, uh, is there any? I know all when we're creatives and we're working on something, they're all our babies. But is
Yeah.
there any particular voice when you were, giving them each their own voice and doing that you had a little bit more fun with the dialogue or
I
in
mean, I
bringing
just
back?
love they're all so different and
Yeah.
they all and they're so fun together as a trio. It's really hard to pick one. Like every time I have a new one. Like I love Throttle because he's such a classic hero. He's very much the charming, like if you could have James Bond as a mouse, he's James Bond as a mouse, but loyal. Like he is just like charming and sweet and always knows what to say and very handsome and, very loyal to his girlfriend, but very teasy, like always has a good quip. And then you've got Moto, who is like the big teddy bear of the group, like just monster big, like just a big rough dude, but like obviously has a heart of gold, lives for his mama and his family. He's and then Vinny, who like pretends to be a ladies' man, but like clearly has like the shiniest, biggest heart in the world. Like they're all so fun. They're all so quippy. Like I just always routinely hope I'm funny enough for them.
Oh,
Because they're just so fun. But truly every day I have a new favorite. Like I love Carbine, who is Throttle's on again, off again girlfriend. Like she's like I like had a huge crush on Leah Remini growing up. So like being able to have her as a mouse was amazing. So
I love
really
that.
it's like when people ask me what my favorite Power Ranger is, like I can never pick. Like it
Yeah,
as a writer, there's things I love about each and every one of them. So
yeah.
it's hard for me. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's another. It just depends on what the story is and what's grabbing at my heart that day.
Exactly. I hate to make people choose. Again, I'm a fellow creative. They're all our babies, but it's
Exactly.
depends on what time of the day and what mood we're in is where we're vibing at the moment. But let me again remind everybody in June, check out Oniverse and Nacelle's Biker Mice from Mars ongoing series from the amazing Melissa Flores. So we have this dropping, and you said like with some of the little prequels prior to the Zeros, the little miniseries, and now moving to ongoing series a little bit of prequel story. What is that the first
Yeah,
arc?
but you're not going to need to know the whole story to get started with
Okay.
the new ongoing.
You
So
can
like the
jump on
prequel,
with the new
you could
issue.
jump on board no matter what. The prequel tells the stories how the freedom fighters were formed, and when we start the ongoing, it tells the story of the start of the war and as they're and how they deal with the idea that this is a much harder war to win than they thought there would be. They deal with a pretty significant loss and how they recoup from that, and hopefully takes them on a crazy, amazing adventure that expands beyond Mars, but through the whole Nacelleverse. So we'll find out.
I can't wait. Can you talk about your collaborators on there? Daniel Gete, working with the rest of the team.
Yeah, they're absolutely fantastic. I absolutely actually was just going over inks and stuff today, and the grittiness and the level of detail they put into these books are incredible. Like I'm looking at every single one of them. Like Mars is such a desolate place, so it's very easy to not put much in the inks, but when you actually see the detail and the action and everything, like Mars the Mars that the Martians live in before Plutarch turns it into a crater is lush and beautiful and full of life, and they really bring it to life in an amazing way. And especially when we have the cartoons being so specific, it's really difficult for I think an artist to be able to take that and put their own spin on it and still stay true to who the tone of the book or the tone of the series while making it their own. And I think they pull it off beautifully. Like their expressions are beautiful. It's a fantastic looking book. And I'm so excited to be on. They're so talented. And I know it's going to be a beautiful book once it all comes together.
Cannot wait. Again, everybody drops in June. I've been doing some homework. I know a lot of big things are happening at Nacelle. Some big heavyweights, A celebrities are producing some things with you
Yeah.
guys. With you having that kind of a background, are you involved with any of the talks in regards to some of the animation development that's I think occurring and some other things?
Stay tuned. I'm trying to keep my focus on the books. They've got a great team over. I will say I've seen some amazing things over there, and their series are really solid and beautifully done. And I've gotten some beautiful sneak peeks, and I'm very excited about both RoboForce and Biker Mice. They're doing amazing work,
Okay.
and really check them out because the books and the animated series kind of live in the same world, so they're additive to each other. So if you watch the series, you might catch some references to the comic books and vice versa.
Exciting. Are you interested in being involved a little bit over there too on that
Oh,
side?
always, always. I do everything. I was a development and television executive. I was development executive for a long time. I still do that stuff now.
That's why I
Uh,
ask.
yeah.
Because
So,
like, why not bring
but
Melissa over?
no, I'm fantastic. Like I'm so happy to always be involved in whatever they do. Um, but they hired me to do comic books, so that's my focus.
Gotcha.
Everything else is gravy to me. Like I love being able to see what everything else they do, but my baby right now is the books. So I'm trying to make
Exciting.
sure those are as successful as possible.
Definitely. Well, giving you all the love and shine. Again, everybody,
Thank
Biker
you.
Mice from Mars drops in June. Before I let you go, Melissa, again, you've got a lot of amazing things happening, and I was doing some homework. Can we shine a light on some of those? I know there's
Of
like the
course.
Spider-Gwen project, I think, with Marvel.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I did Spider-Gwen Smash. That was a miniseries that was last year.
oh,
She has a different
okay.
ongoing right now with Stephanie Phillips, which is Spider-Gwen 6, and she's in the 616 world. So different, but definitely check out Spider-Gwen Smash. It's the last miniseries before she left Earth 65 and went to 616. And it was a lot of fun. I got to set up some really great threads that I hope eventually they go back to. And then my big other ongoing right now is Power Rangers Prime, which
Yes.
is a brand new Power Rangers ongoing comic. You don't have to read anything else. It is a brand new world. It is completely rebooted, and we're telling a new tale of Power Rangers, and it's going really well. People are really enjoying it. So
You'll
definitely
never
check
stop
that
doing
out.
Power Rangers. I think you'll always be synonymous with Power Rangers, right?
Yeah, I mean, I will be there as long as they'll have me. Like, I truly love doing that series. I have some other stuff coming that I can't really announce yet,
Okay.
but I'm really excited about. And also, I'm working on a video game called War Torn, which was also announced. It's in early access now. There's a demo available. Actually, not early access. There's a demo available. You can download it on Steam. I'm contributing to the writing on that. So definitely check that out. It's by a studio called Stray Kites. It's Stray Kite Studios. The
Is it
same
like an
producer who did
RPG
BioShock.
game?
It's more of a roguelike
Okay.
roguelike series, but with some beautiful narrative. It's like really focused on the horror of war, but told in a beautifully fantastical setting. Like think like Lord of the Rings, if it was about war. Like beyond what it is now.
Yeah.
Beautifully done. Definitely if you're interested in roguelike games and strategy games, like check it out. It's the combat demo is out right now. It's hard. I'm terrible at it, but I love writing it. So it's been fun for doing that. And then I've got some other stuff in the works I can't talk about yet, but keep an eye out for sure.
Well, we're going to be fans of yours, and I'm going to send everybody, put all of your links in the description below right now, so people can follow you and send you love and tell you how much they love Biker Mice from Mars and everything else you're doing. And as you can talk about those things, please come back so I can throw some virtual flowers and show some light on some of those projects.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I absolutely will.
Definitely. Everybody, the amazing Melissa Flores, Biker Mice from Mars, drops from Oni Press and Nacelle in June. I'm Kuya P. This is Nerds Rule the World. All right, there's a cut, Melissa. Thank you.
Nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world. Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world, so more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Awesome. Kuya P, Nerds Rule the World. Hello. Yes, they do.
Yes.
Oh,
Nerds rule the world.
I got.
It's in the title of your show, like Nerds Rule the World. Like, I want more Black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds do rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you,
Nerds Rule.
Love it.
Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julian.
Nerds rule. Yes.
Rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
Absolutely.
And you're right. Nerds do rule the world.
We're just the best.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Nerds so much.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's your boy Kuya P. Nerds Rule the World. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
do. They rule the world all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys. Reporting. I'll count us in, bring us in, and we'll get into the conversation. Boom, let me get that there. All right, here we go. In a 1, 2, 3.